Hello, you're watching Much Ado About Something, and I'm Donna. Well, today I'm just going to share a few thoughts and things with you and share some products that I picked up over the past week and just talk to you a little bit about some things going on around here. Well, I love herbs. Y'all know I've shared plenty of my herb things going on. I'm in the bathroom, and right here is a cabinet that my dad gave me. It sits right over the commode, and it's just an oak cabinet that he gave me years ago, and I keep my oils up here on the top shelf. Well, I've got a lot of oils up here, and I've been worried about this shelf just giving in. It's just got these little plastic brackets that hold it up, and so I've been on the outlook, looking out for something that'll help me with my supply of herbs. Now I'm going to have two hands to pull this thing down, and I'll take it in the living room and I'll share with you something that I found that might help me out with this. Now here's my tray of essential oils that came out of my bathroom little cabinet that's over my commode. And so here's this big tray, and it's getting pretty heavy. It's pretty laden down with all the oils and things that I use. Now I went to Walmart last week and I found this. Walmart has this little wooden box with labels that hold a fluid ounce bottles. Well, no, it doesn't. I think these bottles are going to be too big. I was hoping to find something that would at least hold the 1 ounce bottles. So I'll have to have the smaller bottles to put into this box. But I got so excited about it because I thought, what good storage, and you can just look right down in there. Then I wouldn't have to put all of my oils up on the bathroom shelf, but it looks like these are going to be too big, that my 1 ounce bottles are not going to fit in that box. But it looks like I'm going to have to figure out something different since these do not hold the 1 ounce bottles. I thought from looking at it in the store, it looked like it would be big enough to hold the 1 ounce bottles. But I was wrong. It is not big enough. But I can still use it. I still have other bottles that are not as big. This right here is one of my cases that I have that stays in a different part of the house. And it has the smaller bottles. It has the bottles that are just 15 milliliters or a little bit over a half of an ounce. And I guess that's the size that this box will hold. Yeah, it looks like it is. So I'm going to have to come up with a different solution for all of these. I may just leave them in this tray and try to find a place that's sturdier. But I use these oils so much that I know exactly when I go in there exactly what oils are here and where to go to get what I need right here in the front. I have the most used oils that I use right here in the front. And let's just take a minute and see what those are. Those would be lemongrass, cedarwood, rosemary, lemon, basil, frankincense, patchouli, nutmeg, lavender, oregano, eucalyptus, peppermint, cinnamon, a cinnamon bark, cassia, and clove. So that's my most used oils that are right here in the front. And I was hoping maybe to put some of those in of this box that I got at Walmart for $19.99. It's actually bamboo with a glass top, and it comes with these little labels that you can put on top. So when you look straight down in there, you'll know what your oils are. but they're not going to hold the 1 ounce bottles enclosed. So, see, the 1 ounce bottle's not even fitting in there. What ounce, or how many ounces is this? Yeah, that's the 1 ounce bottle. And it will not fit down in here. So, that's not going to work for what I need it for. But it will hold the 1/2 ounce bottles. Or a little over a 1/2 ounce. So, that's the bottles I have to look for to put in here. And that's also what this box that I ordered off of Amazon holds. It holds the 1/2 ounce bottles, or the 5 milliliters or smaller. See, I have some little smaller bottles that I ordered off of line that fit in these little compartments, where sometimes you put roller bottles, but it also has some little pipettes and some different things in here that I use for the oils in this little drawer. But when you use essential oils and you get in the habit of using them for many things around the house, then it really necessitates something that you can put in them. You know, put them in, and you need a place where you can easily access them. You know, I get my oils from different places. My oil of choice is Now Oils. That's what I use. I know everybody has their different oils, but I've used these for years and had great success, so I continue to use those. I do have other brands that I've picked up from different places. I love Brambleberry. Sometimes if I can't find the Now oils in certain things, then I'll order from Brambleberry. Mountain Rose oils, of course, are good. These are from the drugstore. These have been good, really good oils. The Cassia, maybe. Aura Cassia. These oils have been good, and they all fit into this little box that I ordered from Amazon. But I've had this box for so long, I can't even tell you how much it was, or, you know, the link to it, because I've actually had this. But I think they still do carry something somewhat like this on Amazon. And this, of course, came from Walmart, and I was really surprised to see this at Walmart. It's a bamboo box. This is actually bamboo with the inserts in it. Now, I took a moment to actually put a cork bottom on this bamboo box. It did not come with a cork bottom, but I did put a cork bottom on it because, you know, I thought I would be carrying it around the house and setting it on different parts of furniture. And that's just a roll of cork that you can buy at any craft store. And I cut it to put on the bottom of this box. And I also put it on the bottom of a couple of these tiles right here that I had, that me and Donald like to use for coasters and trivets. And we leave these in here in the living room because our drinks, when they have condensation on them, they'll just leave a circle on this table. So I made these. Just bought some pieces of tile from Habitat for Humanity. I think they were 79 cents each. And then I took that roll of cork and traced around this and glued it to the bottom so that we'd have some good coasters sitting here on this table. Now, these little stickers right here, they're excellent for putting on the top of your essential oil bottle so that you'll know what you have. You don't have to pick it up every time. You can just glance over them when they're in here, and you can see what oils that you have. But I just want to let you know they had this at Walmart, and it does take the 1/2 ounce or the 15 milliliter bottles, and it will not hold the whole full ounce bottles. So keep that in mind. I don't know what size oils you use. I usually buy 1 ounce bottles of oils because, you know, I use them for cleaning. I use them to make home remedies. I use them for burning in my diffuser, you know, scenting the air and making homemade air fresheners. You know, my favorite is basil and grapefruit. I absolutely love the basil and grapefruit. and make an essential oil spray with vodka and basil and grapefruit oil. And I use that on a daily basis, especially in the kitchen. It's just such a refreshing smell. And then over here, of course, I've got my diffuser, and this is also a Now brand diffuser. Now, I bought this at House of Health. It's a health food store where I buy a lot of my oils. And they have these diffusers that are there. And I love basil and grapefruit oil in the diffuser also. The basil, I use about 5 drops of that. And the grapefruit, I use anywhere from 5 to 10 drops of the grapefruit, because it really stimulates the day. The scent of the grapefruit, the citrus in that just stimulates your mind and gets you ready for the day. And it's one of my favorite all-time scents. I was having a little bit of the ice drink this morning after my tea. I've already had my tea. Let me see. I can get this thing going. There we go. But that sits right here beside of me where I sit, my chair. You know, when I take a rest, here is my heating pad and my favorite 2 little pillows. That little velvet pillow and this little pillow right here is what I've been using to prop my arm up. I'm suffering from impingement syndrome, so those 2 little pillows are really comforting. I've got my diffuser going right there in that area where I usually sit. When I sit down, I try not to sit down too much. I've got a lot to do in the course of a day. But if I rest, this is where I rest. This is where I read and where I do my devotions. So I love having that basil and grapefruit diffuser going right there in the area where I spend my day. And this is the mantle that's over my couch that Donald put up. And I'm kind of behind in my decorating, but I'm getting going with the seeds. So there's a lot going on around here. But that's one of the room sprays that I use. And of course I use my oils for many, many things. I make many, many products with these essential oils, and I do many things that are important. So I've got to have a good place to put them. So I think I am not going to be putting them back on the shelf in the bathroom. Where I have to be concerned about this shelf bearing too much weight. So I'm going to have to reorganize that and rethink something. And maybe I can put some of these other things that I have in my cabinet. I can reorganize this cabinet if I don't have the essential oils. But knowing me, I've had such a habit over the years where that thing is sit right here that when I need to run and get an essential oil, I'll be running to this cabinet even though I've reorganized it. So I will have to find an easily accessible place to put my tray of essential oils that I use on a daily basis. Our little chicks are really growing. The kids have really enjoyed them. Some of the things I do with my essential oils, of course, is I make my hair growth serum. It's the rosemary and juniper berries that I keep this now, and I use this at least once a week. I've got lavender infused oil that I use on bug bites and little things for the kids. It's a good, mild, gentle oil that's good for kids. Like calendula's in here. I also have honeysuckle oil. Now, I was gifted this bottle of honeysuckle infusion for different things, anywhere you would need a body oil. And of course, once I used all this up, I used the same bottle to infuse more honeysuckle oil. So there's quite a bit going on. I really use my essential oils, and I need to have them handy where I can make all the products that I use. Speaking of hair, I'll give a little hair update. You know, I suffered from telogen effluvium after being hospitalized in December of 2021 for COVID pneumonia. The stress of that whole thing, my hair fell out over the course of that 6 to 7 months after I had gotten out of the hospital. My hair just continued to fall out by the handfuls. But it has since grown out, and I have a video on my channel of what I did for this condition, how I treated it myself, what I used, the supplements I took, and the oil that I made from the rosemary and the juniper berries to stimulate my hair growth, especially in the top. And you can see my hair has grown back. It has even grown back a different texture. I'll just show you back here. You know, there it is. I have hair now. I was really worried about my hair. Let me see if I can show you the back of it. It's grown back thick and full. And of course, I have not colored it, or I have not cut it. I have not done anything to my hair since the telogen effluvium. I have kept it in the best natural condition that I possibly could so that it could come back. I was thinking about maybe coloring it back again, but I don't think I'm going to do that now that I've already gone completely gray. I have completely gray hair here. See in the mirror? And it's even come back a different texture. I've always had body, and I had curl when I was in elementary school. But now the curl has really come back. So I have curl in my hair. It's come back gray and curly. So that's how that's doing. My whole adventure with the telogen effluvium. That's just a few examples of what I use my essential oils for. Now I use herbal remedies to make tinctures. And sometimes with those herbal remedies, what I'll do is go ahead and add something such as this thyme oil, because this increases the antibacterial effectiveness of that ointment and those salves and things that I make like that for our family's use. And of course, if I can increase the effectiveness of it, I certainly will do that. But I'm in the process of trying to figure out right here what I'm going to do with all of these oils that I use on a regular basis. Now, I wouldn't use my thyme oil every day, especially this red thyme oil. This is very, very strong. It's a very effective and highly hard-working antibacterial, antifungal, and anti-inflammatory. It's a really good oil for that. There's also white thyme. I also have the white thyme that I got from Brambleberry. So there's two different types of those. There's a lot of things that I don't use on a regular basis. Like ylang-ylang, I like that, but I would not use that every day. That's a specific, really sweet scent that I only use occasionally. I have lemon. I use a lot of lemon oil. It's good for a lot of different things. Of course, the grapefruit, because it's one of my favorites. And the basil, I have big bottles backups that I refill my little ones with back here. But there are many, many great smelling, wonderful essential oils. And of course, I use a lot of them on a daily basis. So I've got to be able to access them easily, and I've got to find a place to put those so that I can make all the products that I use my oils for. I'll have those available and on hand when I need to make those things. Cleaning products, healthcare products, and all of the other products. But whatever solution I come up with today, I'll be sure and share that with you of how I store my essential oils. They really don't need to be in the bathroom necessarily anyway, because You know, the bathroom gets damp in there. It's a lot of moisture, and I don't think that it hurts the essential oils. It maybe gets heated up in there a little bit because, you know, maybe not our bathroom because we don't keep it overly warm. We don't use a lot of heat in that bathroom, but normally with the hot shower going and everything, your bathroom heats up a little bit more than you'd want it to. Your essential oils store best if they're kept a consistent, just cool heat. Like they don't go through extreme temperature changes such as heat and cold. So they just last longer, hold their properties better if they're in a amber colored jar and they're in a cooler space, a cool kind of dry space. So I'll have to see where I can move those, where I can get to them easily. You know, when you're living in a house and you have a lot of people, you have a lot of friends and family. I keep my 6 grandchildren, so I've got to be real careful. All of those oils, most of those oils have child safety caps on them. So they really don't mess with my oils, but you know, I have to think about that when I go to store them, to make sure that I treat them as a medicine and keep them safely away from little hands. They do love to smell the oils, and of course I use a lot of lavender for them because that's the one mild herbal oil that I can use on them neat, just straight out of the bottle, and it doesn't hurt them, you know. So you know, they get to smell the lavender a lot. But I do want them to see me living with these oils, and I hope they make the conscious choice to decide to use oils when they grow up, when they become adults and they're able to distinguish what oils they need. I hope to, just like my great grandmother influenced me in herbs and oils, I hope to do that for my grandchildren. I hope that they're able to enjoy all the benefits and wonderful smells and properties of essential oils that come out of the plants and things here that are great for us. Lately, on my impingement syndrome shoulder, with the other, you know, creams and things that you rub on it to alleviate pain, I have used calendula salve and frankincense oil. I'll just put a few drops of frankincense in the calendula salve that I put on my hand to rub on my shoulder, and that has been a great ease. That eases the pain of the impingement shoulder. I don't know if you have ever had impingement shoulder or know anybody that has, but if you do, you know that's an extremely painful condition. Right now I'm treating mine with therapy and mild pain relievers such as, well, I've been using cayenne pepper and different pain relievers that are herbal, but I've also had to use some Aleve and occasionally Tylenol to relieve this pain. It's been a large amount of pain coming from this impingement shoulder, and hopefully I can take care of that and I can improve this condition without having to have surgery. But surgery is the last option for my impingement syndrome. I'm just trying to do the therapy exercises, go to the therapist, and take pain relievers as little as possible as I can to try and get this shoulder to heal. Now, the orthopedic surgeon that I went to, they're telling me that this impingement shoulder is coming from having the long COVID. So I think it's a combination of long COVID and overworked. I've just overworked my right shoulder. So I'm trying to be good to it, help it heal, and give it a rest. So hopefully that won't linger on no longer than it has to, but it's something that I'm dealing with on a daily basis. It's affecting every area of my life. I wanted to declutter. Well, I'm not able to lift very much weight, really not much at all. So just decluttering by myself has, you know, it's not an option right now. My husband's extremely busy. He does want to help me declutter, but his time's really limited. Now we're right here on the cusp of spring and getting everything planted, getting our gardens ready. So that in itself will be a lot of physical labor. And there's many things that I cannot do with this shoulder. So it's limited me quite a bit, but that's okay. I'm going to find ways around it. My little grandchildren, David, he got to plant watermelon seeds. He planted 3 little hills of watermelon seeds. My little granddaughter, Ellie, she got to plant her flowers. She picked out a flower, a little flowering vine, and she just put one of those back in the garden. Of course, most of our flowers go in front, so she's going to plant more out front, and they'll be anxious when they start seeing those come up. I'll share that reaction in them with you, and just show you how that progress is going. I didn't start any seeds this year. I am going to do that, but I didn't rush it because we've had a series of cold fronts, and these cold fronts affect our plantings and our planting dates, and it just always sets it back. So I'm not stressing that this year. It's okay if my garden goes in late this year. So I'm not going to stress that and just get things in as I can get them in, and we'll see what yield we get out of it with our garden plan being getting it done as we can. Because isn't that a more realistic goal for most of us? I mean, we cannot fit into somebody's schedule all the time, or even a book's schedule about when things should be planted. In an effort to get it all done and to have the things that we want, we have to work within our own schedule when we can get it in, when the weather in our area permits. So that's what we'll be doing this year. It's a little off the cuff and not quite as scheduled as I normally am, but I'm anxious to see how that works for us this year. And I'm also excited about all the beautiful flowers and things that are coming out in the garden. I mean, it's so exciting just to see new things. I already had quite a bit bloom, and going through quite a bit of flowers and things out there so far just in the spring. And it's I think I may fertilize those roses some today and get ready for those to bloom, and I'll be sure and share those with you. Well, I just wanted to share with you a few things going on here, share with you about my little container I bought from Walmart for my oils that only holds the 15 milliliter or half of an ounce, a little over half an ounce bottles. So if you're looking at those thinking, oh, I need this to store my oils, make sure you have the right size oil bottles to fit in that thing. And when I come to the conclusion of where I'm going to store my tray of essential oils where I can get to them and use them on a daily basis with easy access, I'll be sure and share that with you. It's amazing how much we need over the course in our lives, isn't it? We need areas to store our food. You know, we need pantries. We need areas to store our memories and the books and things that we use on a daily basis. And now I've got tea and dried herbs that I store, tinctures and ferments that I store in the kitchen. And now I have to find a place for my essential oils. You know, if you have all these hobbies, if you use all these different things, you have to have a place for them. So I'm in the process of trying to rearrange, you know, my areas to where I can get to the things that I need on a daily basis. I'll share those things with you as I can. You know, as I start each project, I'll try and share that with you. Thank you for joining me today, and let me share my thoughts and plans with you. Let me share my essential oil dilemma in my little box. I hope you have a good day today, and I hope that you're finding a place for all the things that you need and that you're getting organized. I'm going to try and take that journey on this summer and try to downsize and organize just to have freer movement in our house and to enjoy things around me better, make the most use of what I have. But I thank you for coming along on that journey with me today and let me share these things with you. I hope you have a good day. And like always, until next time.